Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. This is I don't know what episode it is. I've lost track. How we doing? We doing good? Man, Red Bull's the best. All right, guys. I've been trying to quit vaping. Because I've been I listen to the Bill Burr's podcast every week because I'm a fanboy, and he's been doing this shit where he goes like sober for the first 10 days of every month. Then the rest of the month he does whatever the fuck he wants. So I was like, I'm going to do that, but with weeks. So I'm going to start with like Monday, no vaping. And I started last Monday. And I made it to 2 p.m. But I woke up at 11:30. So not going that well. So this Monday, when you guys are watching this, I'll be doing the second day of it. Who cares? I don't know, what else is going on? I got into an argument yesterday. Guys, I reckon Christmas is overrated. Do you agree? Disagree? There's shit going on with my camera. What the I don't think it makes sense. Just like, because it's not like, oh, it's a time of giving, but it's not, because, like, for example, me and my sister, we spend $100 on each other. Oh, yeah, we spend $100 on each other every Christmas. It's just, I just buy her $100 worth of shit, and she buys me $100 worth of shit. And majority of the time, I'll just order my own gift and be like, this is what I want, and she'll order her gift and like, this is what I want, and then we'll just exchange it, and then we'll gift it to each other on Christmas, and it just doesn't. I don't get the point. I guess when you got kids, it's different. You can get the kids shit, but even then, it's like, it seems like transactional. It doesn't seem like giving. Like if I buy you like a winter coat in like July, that's more like giving than, oh, here's, fuck, it's Christmas, let me go to fucking High Point, in the middle of the rush and spend some time. You don't even need to do that. When you drive past the shops around Christmas time, it's packed. It's like, just go on Amazon. Like, all those workers are being exploited. You may as well use the website. You may as well make their exploitation worth it. All right, that took what, 3 minutes, a minute for me to make it fucked. But I'm not gonna lie, guys. I got nothing to talk about. Usually I have a list of like topics I want to get to, but I'm freeballing it today. Um, I guess that's, let's talk about nothing is the name of the podcast. But what's been going on? Oh shit, the camera's at 50%. Fuck, I forgot to charge it. This might be a short one, guys. Have I reeled you in with this riveting start to the pod? Morocco beat Portugal this morning. Shit was crazy. Man, Ronaldo, that guy, he just doesn't do anything to help his image, hey? Like, all the fucking, media articles, like, everyone's criticism of him is like, he's selfish. Yeah, he's selfish. And Morocco win. I understand you're upset. You're never playing at the World Cup again. You've just lost to Morocco, whose defense is amazing, mind you. But you've just lost to Morocco. He just leaves. Doesn't shake anyone's hand. Doesn't talk to his team. Doesn't console his teammates. Like, I know it's all about you. You're Ronaldo. It's all about you. But you're the leader of the team, bro. You got to stay out there and at least be like, at least pretend that you like him. At least pretend like, oh, Bruno, you're not a fucking annoying ass cunt. Sorry that we like, like, I don't know. I'm really, like, I've been a Ronaldo fan my whole life. I'm from Broadmeadows, so it just comes with being from Broadmeadows, is you just like Ronaldo. It's part of the census. But I'm really starting to lean towards, I'm really starting to lean towards Messi, just because Ronaldo, he just seems like a fuckwit. I'm sure Messi's a fuckwit too. Look, anyone with that level of fame and success, you have to be a fuckwit. Because you think, like, when you're that famous, I doubt you meet anyone who, like, ever tells you no. Ronaldo knows that all too well. Oh, it's a rape joke. I doubt you ever meet anyone that ever tells you no. When people meet you, it's always going to be transactional, because it's like, everyone's wondering what they can get from you. Like, I'm not going to lie. Whenever I meet a comedian who's way bigger than me, part of me is like, oh, holy shit, I'm fucking meeting this guy. And then the other part's like, maybe I can fucking open for him. Maybe if he really likes me, I can get him on the pod. I need to get more guests on the pod. I say it every episode. I've only had Hugh twice. But I did have a guest lined up, but she pulled out because she had work or some shit. But it would have been a cool guest. But gonna have guests on, alright? Whenever the fuck. Hopefully. Eventually when this podcast gets big, I wanna make every episode a guest episode. Or I'm gonna get a co-host. I'll get me and a co-host. I have some people in mind of who I'd want them to be. It's just too hard because I live at home. So, and then I'll probably do this, like what I'm doing now. I'll make that like a Patreon exclusive, just half an hour of shit talk every week. It'll be a bit more unhinged because it's behind a paywall, Speaking of Hugh, actually, we've got a special announcement coming soon. Stay tuned for 7 p.m. No, we're doing a comedy festival show. Me and Hugh are doing a comedy festival show together. It's called No Holds Barred. There'll be an official announcement sometime soon. We're just waiting to sort out insurance. Why is my alarm set for now? What the fuck? So yeah, that's coming soon. We're very excited about it. We got everything sorted, except we just need to do this insurance shit for the comedy festival, put it on their page. We also are thinking of doing like a bit of an Australian tour. We just have to find out if it's worthwhile, if we can sell enough tickets interstate to warrant us going there. Honestly, I'm down to go even if I lose a bit of money just for the experience. But we'll sort it out. So yeah, if you're listening and you're from outside of Melbourne, hit me up and be like, yeah, come here. And we'll try and sort out some numbers and hopefully we can come. But yeah, I'm just saying it like I'm not going to do that bullshit like, people on their Instagram story, special announcement, 7 p.m. Friday. It's like, who gives a fuck about you? Like, no one's watching. I don't think anyone looks at it like, oh, he's got a special announcement. Let me sit by my phone fucking from 6:55 onwards so I can see what the special announcement. No one gives a fuck. Just announce your tour, bro. Just announce your fucking tour. People are going to go. You got followers. It's fine. You don't need to do this. The world doesn't revolve around you, As well, I think when people buy tickets, like, you buy tickets to something and it's like, oh, I'm excited to go. Let's say hypothetically you bought tickets to my show, right? It's like, oh, I'm excited to go see Anthony. And then months pass and you just forget about the whole thing. And then you're like, don't I have tickets to go see fucking Anthony in here? I think I do. Let me check my fucking email. They're like, oh yeah, I bought 2 tickets. Oh, sick. Oh, I'll go. And then, fuck, how am I going to get there? Oh, it's in the city. I'm not going to drive in the city. I got public transport. Fuck. I reckon that's what happens the whole time. That's why I think the live show is the best thing ever. Because, like, people are paying to come see you. That's the first thing. That's just incredible. The fact that people are paying. But then, like, you guys know how I feel about parking cars. It's the biggest pain in the ass. You got to park your car or you got to get public transport. You got to fucking walk. And then, like, it's like, we're out. We may as well make a night. It's a big effort. So, anyone who does buy tickets, I appreciate you. But yeah, hopefully that's out on sale by the end of this week. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how insurance works. So, I'll figure it out. But, what was I talking about? I was talking about Messi being better than Ronaldo. Oh, you know what's insane, right? I did a gig on Friday night at a shisha bar in Footscray. The vibe was going off. It was hectic. But I did this, bit where I kind of bring up the Messi Ronaldo debate. Like, I was doing well. I did 6 minutes. I was doing pretty well. Then I say this Messi Ronaldo thing. And then the place just kicks off, right? It was sick. It was an all Sudanese crowd. And I was really nervous because the MC, who was a Sudanese guy, was like, bro, I'm doing 10 minutes on your last name. And I was like, fuck. So I got up and I said like a bunch of jokes that I was like, these might be fucking racist. And they loved them. So it was sick. But like, yeah, so I'm doing well and I do these fucking 6 minutes. I'm doing well. And I've been in a bit of a rut. So like, it felt good to be doing well. And then everyone just starts like, no, Messi's the better Ronaldo's. And like, at one point I was like a t-shirt assembly. I was like, all right, put your hands up for Messi. Put your hands up for Ronaldo. And then every time I tried to go on with the joke, they just kept yelling out if they preferred Messi or Ronaldo, and then it got so rowdy. I was just like, all right, thank you, that was my time. Ivan Anthony. Yeah, stand up's fun, man. Stand up's so fucking hard, but you don't like so difficult. I remember when I started, because I already thought I was funny. I started and I was like, man, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna be a killer straight away. I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna like everyone's gonna be like, this kid just started. He's this good. I had like such an ego about it. And then you talk to like I was talking to Dan Rosario, and he was like, bro, you gotta do 8 gigs a week. And I was like, fucking 8 a week, because like I thought, literally before doing it, I thought like they just kind of knew what they were gonna say and kind of just said it. I didn't realize so much rehearsal. It's kind of like acting. It's like 3 months of like a year of rehearsals. If you don't know the stand-up process, for someone in like New York, I won't use Melbourne as an example because the scene here is not the greatest. But in New York, like you do an open mic, you get good at doing open mics, you get on booked gigs. Eventually, you get paid gigs at these booked gigs. Then you start featuring, you start headlining, you host. Then from there, maybe like a Louis C.K. asks you to open for him. And then bang, you're somebody and you're doing your own show. And then you just build an hour of material over like 2 years. Like usually they build an hour for a year. Then they take the hour on tour. At the end of the tour, they record the special. In Melbourne, it's like you do open mics and then you start getting booked. But the booked gigs is basically just an open mic that's booked. And then maybe you get the lounge. And then there's nothing. There's nothing after that. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, you know what's weird about? Because I've been getting some gigs I haven't been able to get recently. Like prior to this, what the fuck? I can't speak. Doing a podcast, can't even fucking articulate a sentence. I've been getting better gigs than I usually do. For I don't know, because more people know me. Maybe I've gone a bit better, or whatever it is. And it's like, man, everyone's like, you got to do this gig. It's fucking sick. It's tapped, you know. And it's like, oh, I'm so nervous for this gig. Like, everyone's made it up to be such a big deal. And then you get there, and it's just another gig. It's just another fucking dive bar, or it's underneath a restaurant, or it's in some fucking dark alley that you've got to, you got to avoid 3 rapists to get to. And it's like, this is just another gig. Maybe I'm being cynical, though, because I can get like that. But, yeah, man. Let me take a swig of this Red Bull. Man, there's some shit going on across the creek. Yes, there's a creek. Judge me. Alright. This isn't making for good viewing. But what the fuck else been going on this week? Man, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I have nothing to talk about. This is when I need to do that shit where I'm like, send me fucking an email with dating advice. Alright, let me go through my camera roll to see where I've been this week and we can fucking talk about it. In the meantime, just chatter amongst yourselves, class. What's the World Cup? Yeah, the World Cup. I've spoken at the World Cup heaps, though. I got all these clips I need to post. Fuck me. The cricket's been on. Let's talk about that, I guess. Cricket's been on. Who really gives a fuck about the cricket? Gotta tell ya. I used to play. I think I played for 10 years. From like 12 to 22 or 12 to 21. And man, I do not miss it. I drive past and everyone's standing there in the heat. And I'm just like, fuck that. It's horrific. Like, it's just a horrific sport. And you know what's so sad about it is there's like people, because in cricket, you can still make it when you're like 30. You can play for Australia for the first time when you're like 33. It's not like every other sport where if you don't get picked up at 18, you're done. You can still make it. So like there's like 25, 26-year-olds who still think they can be like a professional cricketer. And it's just fucking sad, man. Especially like that sport's like the open mic of sports. Because you get there, you're on some primary school back oval. It's like 36 degrees. You hate your teammates. No one wants to be there. And it's not. It's everyone's like, oh, it's a team sport. It's not a team sport. It's an individual sport. You just play with 10 other blokes, and you're just standing there waiting for a bowl or waiting to bat, and it's just fucking miserable. Like if you're an opener, I was a bowler back in my day. But if you're an opening batsman and your team was batting that day, because the games are played across 2 weekends, like Saturday you'll bat, the next Saturday you'll bowl. If you were the batsman and you walk to the crease at 12 o'clock whenever the game starts, and you get out first ball, that's your day done. For the rest of the day, you were just sitting there making fucking idle conversation with your teammates, asking them how work is and shit. They make you bring afternoon tea, and no one ever brings it, so it's always just shit. It's always just like fucking like shapes, Doritos. Maybe someone will buy hot chips from a fish and chip shop, but I fucking hate those shit. There's an oily piece of shit, you know? If you're really lucky, you'll be in club rooms that have an oven, and you'll get some party pies and sausage rolls. But other than that, man, the sport's fucking sad. So I don't know. I'm gonna hit the vape because quitting's not going well. Alright, sorry about that. I gotta host a gig after this. It's what's the time? Does it say on the camera? That's whack as fuck. It's 2 o'clock on the dot. We gotta host a gig at 4. I don't feel funny today, as you can tell. I really don't feel funny. And dude, hosting is so confronting. Because if you fuck up hosting, man, that's it. The gig's dead. The gig is dead. I hosted a couple weeks ago, and I was not funny at all. I was bombing the whole gig to the point the audience hated me. And then there was like a bunch of good, like really well-respected Melbourne comedians in the lineup. And it's like, you want to impress those guys. You want them to see you doing well. And it's like, fuck. I was just stinking it up. And then everyone was bombing. It was because of my fault. Because the energy in the room was so weird. Because I, as the host, wasn't doing a good job. So I turned into a big joke. And I was like, fuck all you guys. You don't get to do well. But yeah, it was bad. So hopefully today's a bit better. You know what's weird about like comedy as well? Is like everyone knows each other. Everyone's met each other once. But like you'll meet someone 20 times and not even talk to them. You'll rock up to a gig and they'll be getting off and you'll be waiting to go on and you'll be like, oh, hey, how's it going? And then you won't speak to them ever again. So like, because I've seen some shit in like, I guess there was some drama in the LA comedy scene where they're like, well, these two comedians must know each other because they're on this lineup together and this lineup together and this lineup together. It's like, yeah, it doesn't mean they spoke though. Especially when you're running around doing gigs. Like, a lot of people do 2, 3 a night. Like, you don't talk to anyone. You just kind of see people, you say hi, and then you fuck off. So it's weird. You know what else is crazy about, like, I guess, making it? Which, I was thinking about this, and Ari Shafir was saying this. You don't really ever make it. You're always just after the next thing. Like, he was talking about this guy who was on sitcoms, was selling out arenas, like 6,000, 10,000 seat arenas, selling them out all the time. I think he did MSG, this guy. I don't know who it is, but the guy was just unhappy because he wasn't Seinfeld. And it's like, fuck, I don't know, I just want to make a living off this shit, but I could definitely see myself getting to that point where I'm like, this person's got it better, this person's got it better. You know they say, like, you shouldn't compare yourself to others? It's like, who doesn't compare themselves to others? It's such a hard thing not to. Even like something like TikTok, you shouldn't live and die by the views. I live and die by the views. My views were low this week. That's why I'm so like reserved right now. If my views are good this week, I'll be all fucking up and about. But it is what it is. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube just for my career. But also they're monetizing shorts. So you need 1,000 followers, 1,000 subs, and start earning a bit of extra cash. Because I want to get out of this fucking bedroom. And I want to make this podcast actually good. Because I'm not really happy with it right now. It's just me in my room talking. I'd love to have a co-host. Maybe we could get it to and like, you know, longer runtime on it. Make it more marketable. Like even the clip, like when I do clips for it, I have to watch it back, and it's just so cringy watching yourself back talking. It's the worst because like then I have to go, I think this is fun. I'll make this a clip, and then my editor will make it a clip, and he'll be like, yeah, I don't think it's funny, and I'm like, fuck, well, I'm not gonna post it. So yeah, sorry, that was very negative. My bad. But yeah, it's crazy how like because everyone in comedy knows each other. It's very weird. You see in like New York and the LA comedy, the podcast scene a lot is like someone makes it. It's like they just blew up this week, right? And then they'll be on like Rogan or like Gillis's podcast or some shit or Flagrant, and they'll be reminiscing on stories for like 10 years earlier, and it's like, oh, these guys have known each other. It's just one was more famous than the other, and now they've both made it. You know, because it's like I think sometimes you can have the perception that famous people only hang out with famous people, but it's not true. Getting deep with Anthony. How introspective of me to make a comment like that. Fuck, I'm just fucking nailing this. Fucking nailing this, mate. Guys, see Harry Kane's penalty? I don't think Kane should have been taking penalties against Lloris. You can't take a penalty against your teammate. It's fucking stupid. A guy you've played with for 6 years? That was dumb. Southgate's an idiot.